What's up everybody, it's Broken Bones here and welcome to Broken's Bedrock Tutorials. Today we're going to be learning how to build the expanded version of the Superior Moss Farm. Last week we did a tutorial on the single layer version of this farm, and this farm is upgradable to the multi-layer version of this farm. That's why this farm is so powerful. The fact that you can build one early game and then expand it later on in the game when you have more materials is super convenient. So if you're planning on building this farm, let's go ahead and talk about some of the similarities and differences and things you're going to have to change. In the single layered version, you have this little brain circuit right here. It's not very big, it's pretty small, and the big farm happens to use the exact same brain. You won't have to change anything on that. All the wiring is exactly the same. As far as the stone generation circuit goes, you will not have to change anything on this. The only thing you'll have to add to it is a torch tower. And same goes for the water pushing circuit. Both of these are linked up via torch towers to the rest of the layers. The major difference between these two styles of farms is the bone meal distribution. The bone meal distribution in the single layer farm can come right from the storage system because you do not have multiple layers, so one piece of bone meal should do it. If you're going to have multiple layers, you're going to need multiple pieces of bone meal, and therefore we have to distribute that. And the way we do that is we take shulker box loaders, it unloads into this hopper line, which feeds all the dispensers in all your layers. The shulker boxes distribute the bone meal throughout the hopper line, and the hopper line feeds the dispensers that feed each layer of the farm. Those dispensers then go ahead and make more moss with that bone meal, and it comes down into the collection system. That collection system brings all of the items down into this water stream, which then get turned into bone meal through all of these composters. And the bone meal then goes into this shulker box right here, and then when it gets broken, it gets put into the storage system right here. Then it gets put into this dispenser right here, which as you can see we do have one from running the farm. And when the farm is ready for another shulker box, it will call for a shulker box and it'll dispense that out into the water stream, sending it right back up into the shulker loader for the farm. And with that being said, let's jump into the tutorial. The material list will be down in the description. To start things off, you're going to want to chunk align your farm and sub-chunk align your farm. As you can see, I'm at Y64 right here, which is 4 chunks above Y0, and I'll do you guys a favor and list the sub-chunk Y values off to the side. Pick which side you want to be the front side, and then go ahead and come over to the back right-hand corner right here, and you're going to go ahead and come 6 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to come up one, and we're going to place in one right here. You can get rid of all these temporary blocks like this. And then we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a little square, just like so, just like that. We're going to place in 2 bits of redstone dust and 2 repeaters, just like that. We're going to place in a block up here, just like so. That's going to be a block that gets pushed back and forth by a couple of pistons, which will be right here. We're going to place in a piston facing this direction on that side, and then same thing on this side. We're going to go ahead and place in a couple temporary blocks, break these 2 out, place in another piston just like that. There we go. Alright, then we're going to have a couple droppers going back and forth. These are going to be right here, and we'll place a temporary block in there, place in another dropper facing in this direction, like that. There we go. And then we can go ahead and whatever side you have this block on, it doesn't really matter which side it's on, go ahead and open up that dropper, place yourself 6 items in there, and then come around back to this piston, and we're going to place in a redstone torch there. That's going to be what talks to the rest of the farms up above. Then once we have this, we're going to go ahead and build the circuitry that makes this brain work. So we're going to come on down here with a couple blocks like this, come on down here to the sides of your pistons, grab your comparators. We're going to go ahead and place those on each side of each dropper just like that. And then we're going to take a sticky piston, we're going to go ahead and come up here like this, and right there like that. Then we're going to go ahead and come off to this side, place in an observer on the side just like that. Anytime that dropper goes empty, that observer will be pulled back and it'll shove that block over to the full dropper. So we're going to do the same thing on this side, so go ahead and come over here, place a sticky piston in like that, grab your observer and place it in that direction. Once you have your brain circuit built, go ahead and come to this redstone torch. We're going to place a block on top of it like this, and we're going to go ahead and come up by 3 blocks in this fashion just like that. So you have 3 blocks in a 45-degree angle just like so. Come off to the side of that one and up by 2 more just like this. So you have 3 blocks in a 45-degree angle just like this. On top of this one, place in 2 blocks. You can break that one out. Come up by another block and out to the side. You can break this one. Now it's time to grab your redstone torches and place those in. On this one, you're going to place 2 redstone torches just like this. And on that one, you're going to place 2 more redstone torches in just like that. And on top of this one, we're going to place one up here, one off to the side, and one more up here. Off to the side of this redstone torch, we're going to go ahead and come out by 2 blocks like this, place one up just like that, and you can break that one out. Come back behind, place in a repeater on 4 ticks, just like so. Grab your blocks. We're going to place in 2 blocks right here, and that's going to be coming out by 4 blocks in total. So go ahead and build that little platform out like that. Grab your comparators. We're going to place in 2 comparators in this direction and 2 more in this direction. Make sure that off of this block, these comparators are facing in that direction. Go ahead and grab your redstone dust. Place redstone dust here, here, and here. And then we're going to come off this side. Go ahead and grab your blocks. We're going to place in a block right there, a block right there, and another one out there. Go ahead and break this block out, and we can place in another block right there as well. Grab your repeaters. We're going to place 2 repeaters in, one here and one there. Go ahead and grab your redstone dust and your redstone torches. Place those in there and there. Then come around back here, and this is going to be where your redstone torch tower is going to be. You're going to be building a redstone torch tower that's just like this, depending on how many layers you have. But go ahead and get that started. Once you've built this, go ahead and come to this block right here. This is going to be the 3rd block up in the beginning right here with the redstone torch on it, just like this. Go ahead and come to this side of it. We're going to place in a block there and a block on top of that one. We're going to come out by 1 here. You should see that that should be just the inside of your chunk border right there, just 1 block inside. Then we're going to go and come onto this side. We're going to bring this out by 12 blocks, which should also be right to the inside of your chunk border right there. You should see how that lines up just like that. Go and do the same thing to this side. We're going to bring that out by that many blocks too. That should be 14 blocks in total. Then we're going to go ahead and grab our pistons. Go ahead and grab your pistons, and we're going to go ahead and line these up right here. Once you've got your pistons in, go ahead and come to this side. We're going to come underneath by 2 blocks. Go ahead and place in 2 blocks like this. Grab your sticky pistons. We're going to place in 2 sticky pistons facing upwards right there and right there. Go ahead and break those 2 blocks out. We're going to place an observer on this side facing in this direction, and then a solid block on its face just like this. Come over to this side of the observer, place in a block right there, grab your regular piston, and you're going to go ahead and place that right there. Coming on down here off of this piston, go ahead and place yourself a melon block or a glazed terracotta block, something that will not interact with slime, and put a repeater on top of that one. Next, grab your glass and come to this side of your pistons right there and place in 2 bits of glass just like this, and then a redstone block right there. Grab your sticky piston, go ahead and place that in the downwards position just like this, and then you're going to grab some slime blocks. We're going to come over by 3 blocks just like this. We're going to come down by 1, out by 1, and over by 2 more just like that. Now we need some redstone blocks. Go ahead and place in your redstone blocks here, and 1 more on top of that one like this. That should make it to where the farm turns on. Anytime this redstone block is gone, you can see that all those extend, and then when we put that back, everything retracts. Once you've built that, come to this side of that redstone block. Go ahead and place in 9 bits of glass. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's very good. Then go ahead and place in 2 more. These are temporary blocks. Go ahead and break that one. Place in a regular piston in that direction right there, and you can break that block as well. Grab yourself a redstone lamp, and you can place that on top with a lever on its face, and you should see that anytime you turn that lever on, the glass gets pushed, that redstone block gets pulled off the top of that piston, and everything extends. And then when we turn the farm off, you should see that everything retracts and that redstone block goes back. Once you've got this working, go ahead and come right over here to this piston right here. Go ahead and place yourself in a temporary block and a sticky piston on its face just like this. You can break that one out. This should line up with your very last piston on this side just like you see here. Grab yourself an observer, come on down below, and place it in the downwards direction just like that. Whenever this piston gets extended, it will be interacting with that block. That's exactly what you want. Off to the side of this piston, we're going to place in a redstone torch. We're going to come back to that one. That's going to be the torch tower that takes us up to the rest of the layers. Then right here, we need to go ahead and place in 7 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Go ahead and place in 2 more just like this. And then we need to go ahead and place in our repeaters. So we're going to place in 7 repeaters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And the 7th one is going to be on 2 ticks. Down below here, go ahead and grab yourself a sticky piston. We're going to place that in that direction right there. And then we're going to place an observer in the upwards direction just like that. And you can place that block back. Down off the bottom of this piston, we're going to go ahead and take an observer down just like this. And we're going to put a block on its face just like that. Anytime that piston goes, it'll tell this brain circuit how many times the farm has gone around. Up to this point, everything I've built only needs to be built once, minus the actual pistons being in there. But everything you see so far is the brain circuit. This is the water flushing circuit, and the on and off circuit. So this is literally just how the farm works. We haven't actually built the farm yet. From this point forward, you'll need to re-watch the video for every layer that you want to build, because we're going to be building the actual moss farm layers now. And what I'll do is I'll leave a timestamp down in the description so you guys can know when to re-watch the video. Now, beginning on each layer, you will need to go ahead and place these blocks in. Those blocks in behind the pistons and the actual pistons themselves. So go ahead and get that done. Then we're going to place redstone dust behind all of these pistons just like this. That should reach all the way to that piston. Then we're going to come back here. We're going to place one bit of redstone dust right there. That bit of dust is not needed for the other layers. It's only needed for the very first one. If you're on the second or third or fourth layer of this farm, then right here underneath your stone generation pistons, right here underneath that lava, you'll need to go ahead and replace these two middle blocks right here underneath those pistons, as there's two redstone torches right here, and it'll power those pistons, which you do not want. Just below your pistons, you need to go ahead and place in a platform of glass. Go ahead and come out by 9 blocks. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And you need to fill in this whole space, 9 by 14, all with glass, which should look like this when you're done. Then go ahead and come to the side of this piston. You're going to place a glass block there and bring that all the way to the front of your platform. Next, grab your water and waterlog all of your pistons. Next, go ahead and grab your glass. You're going to come on top of your pistons, place in a line of glass all the way on top of each of those. Come off to the side right here by 1 block. Go ahead and place in another bit of glass down the edge all the way down across here like this, and place one more like that. Next, you need to grab your lava. You're going to come over by 3 blocks, skipping 3 blocks, and on the 4th block, go ahead and place in some lava right there, and you should see that all those turn to stone. Then you're going to do the same thing over here. Skip 3 blocks on the 4th block, go ahead and place in your lava, and you should see that all those turn to stone. Once all your stone is formed, go ahead and get some glass. Go ahead and bring that up over the top of your lava and make the space a little bit safer. Once you've covered your lava, go ahead and come to the front of your glass platform right here, and diagonally up from it, you're going to go and place in your obsidian or crying obsidian, and go ahead and bring that across the length of your farm just like this. Just across that glass platform there, and basically now you have a stone generator. So go ahead and turn the farm on just like this and double check to make sure everything's working properly. You should be getting nothing but stone. If for some reason maybe your realm's laggy and you're getting cobblestone out of this, all you have to do to fix that is extend the repeater timing on this repeater right here. But I don't think you guys will have to do that, because I ran this farm 7 layers tall on my realm and it worked just fine. And as you can see, we've got all stone. Now if you're building the second layer or more layers to this farm, your farm will not turn on, so you cannot test it for stone, not unless you have this torch tower in place. So what you'll need to do is you need to come down to this piston here, build yourself a torch tower just like this, and hook it up to the redstone just like that. Once you know your farm is producing stone, go ahead and turn your farm back off. Then we need to come up here by your lava. You need to come to the glass section right here, right in front. Go ahead and place in a temporary block and bring that out to the side just like this. And go ahead and come out to the front here just like that. Grab your slime blocks. We're going to place in 5 slime blocks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go ahead and place in yourself another glass block just like that. That should be 7 blocks in total. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Go ahead and place in your glass block there. Place in a glass block there. And then place in 5 slime blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you should see that those 2 glass blocks touch. Next, grab your water bucket. Place 2 water sources right in the center right there on each side. You should see that that flows out to each side pretty well. And then we need to go ahead and enclose this thing. So go ahead and grab your melon blocks. We're going to go ahead and place in melon blocks anywhere that there's a slime block. So go ahead and place in melon blocks all right there by the slime blocks. Then on each side, we can place in glass here and here. Do the same thing on this side. We're going to stretch that out with melon blocks all the way out. Then we're going to go ahead and do glass. Coming right here off these 2 redstone torches right behind the melon blocks that we just placed, go ahead and place in 2 sticky pistons, one right there and one right there, and put redstone blocks on their faces. Grab 2 more sticky pistons, face those facing down off the side of those redstone blocks just like so. And then on the sides of these sticky pistons, go ahead and place in your melon blocks off to the side, finishing it off with glass, and do that on both sides. Go ahead and come all the way to the end where the melon block ends, and then go ahead and place in your glass. Next, come to this glass piece right here that's holding your water in. Go ahead and place 2 glass blocks in front of it just like this, and you can carry those all the way out to the front of the farm. On the first layer, you're going to be extending that out 2 blocks past your obsidian there, and you can make that 2 blocks tall all the way back. On every other layer, all you need to do is just come to the front of the obsidian just like that. Okay. Now on this side, you're going to do the exact same thing. Go Go ahead and come up by 2 blocks and bring that all the way out to your redstone lamp, and then on top of your redstone lamp. Once you have your glass walls in place, go ahead and turn your farm back on. Go ahead and flip this switch right here, just like that, and you should see that after a period of time, these release the water and let the water flow out to the edge of the obsidian. No water should fall off the edge of the obsidian. It should stop right at the border, and here it comes. Here's the water, and as you see, it stops right there at the border and then quits after some time. If you're re-watching this video because you're building another layer of the farm, you'll just need to come off that torch tower that we had right here in this section right there. You'll need to build up your torch tower just like this, and you'll need to hook it up to the redstone via another redstone torch right there off to the side, just like that. Once you've tested your water circuits and you know that they're working, go ahead and turn the farm back off to continue working on it. Then we're going to come right back up here. We're going to come right here by our water flushing arm right here. We're going to skip 1 block, come over another block, and we're replacing a bit of redstone right there with a block on top of it just like this. Grab a dropper, come out of this side. We're going to place a dropper in just like so. Underneath that dropper, we're going to place in a piece of glass just like this. Then we're going to take an observer off to the side of that glass, and it's going to be facing this redstone just like so. Go ahead and come out by another observer, and then below that observer, break these 2 stone blocks out. Go ahead and come on down below, place an observer down just like that. You can go ahead and replace those stone blocks if you wish. And you're going to come out by 1 more. Grab yourself a dispenser, place that on the front of that observer block, and a moss block just like this. There we go. Alright, now we need to go ahead and place in a solid block right there with a piston on the front of that one just like this. This will break anything that's on top of the moss block so you can bone meal it. Now off to this side, we're going to need some hoppers. We need some hoppers to get the bone meal into that dispenser there. So go ahead and place in 2 just like that. So this one's facing into the side of that dispenser. This one's facing down. Now we need to go ahead and get our water in here. So we need to go ahead and case this in. So we're going to bring some glass in here just like this. Go ahead and place a temporary one there and there. There we go. You can break that one out. And you're basically going to take this across the top of all of these just like that. There we go. So you should have this L shape just like that. And when you have that in, go ahead and take your water source and go ahead and place that right in front of your dropper right here. And you should see that that comes all the way down to your hopper. Once you have this completed, go ahead and mirror the exact same build over here. And that way you have 2 farms in 1 layer just like this. Now we need to wire these up. So go ahead and grab your redstone torches. We're going to come off the side of these pistons right here. Go ahead and grab yourself a sticky piston, face it out of that redstone torch just like that. Grab yourself an observer, face it inwards just like this towards these melon blocks right here, and put a solid block on the face of that one. Go ahead and come around this way, and we're going to place in 3 repeaters just like this. Those are all going to be on 4 ticks, so go ahead and place those on 4 ticks. And that's going to come out into a solid block. So go ahead and place a solid block on the face of that one. And then on this side, I'm going to place in 2 bits of glass right here because that's the way I like the way it looks. And then we can go ahead and place in 2 more repeaters. These are going to be on 4 ticks as well. Go ahead and do that on both sides. Now this layer is pretty much done. If this is the final layer to your farm, then go ahead and cap it off with glass. Go ahead and bring a glass top around the top just like this. And if it's not the final layer of your farm, then that glass will be made up of the floor of the layer above it. So this glass right here would be right on top of this right here. It would sit right here just like that. And everything lines up vertically. So your pistons and all your redstone, that can go straight up and be transferred directly above the water right here. Now, once you have that done, go ahead and I recommend testing this. If you have any extra bone meal, go ahead and throw some bone meal into these droppers right here. And let's go ahead and test our farm here. It should be a moss farm now. So let's go ahead and turn this on. You should see that this thing will go ahead and cycle around once, then it'll spit some bone meal out, then it will go ahead and start creating moss. So let's see here. We should see that our water flushers will activate here shortly. There they go. Alright, that's going to flush, and then when the water stops, it should spit out some bone meal. The first one's not going to go because it didn't have any bone meal in the system yet. The water flushers will go one more time. Now that there's bone meal in the system, we should get some moss. There we go. We got the moss. It should break all the moss with the stone generator, and it should flush these out at the same time. Now, I know we don't have a collection system yet. That's to come. And as you can see, our farm is working as intended. We're getting moss. It's flushing out. Everything's working. Now, before too many entities build up, go ahead and turn this farm off. If you're planning on building another layer on top of this farm, then go ahead and rewind the video, go back to that timestamp that I have down in the description, and rewatch this and rebuild this over and over as many times as you like. I wouldn't go more than 7 layers, because at 7 layers, my farm on my realm became a little bit laggy. It was still working, and the realm was still playable, but you're kind of pushing the limits of what's possible at that point, so I would limit this to 7 layers. But if you're not, and this is the final layer that you're building, then go ahead and cap your glass off right here at the top of your water right here, and go ahead and continue watching the video. So now I've added another layer to my farm, and as you can see, the glass here in the front does not extend 2 blocks out. That's one of the changes that we made. And you can also see that the bottom floor glass level right here goes right on top of our water, as I discussed earlier. So these are some of the changes that we made. Now we need to go ahead and talk about how to hook it up to the brain circuits. So let's go ahead and get that completed. So basically we're going to come right here, we're going to continue this torch tower all the way up. So I'm going to do that really quickly, just like this and like that, and then go ahead and break out every block in between. That's the easiest way to do these, I think, in my opinion. So we'll go ahead and get that linked up here, just like that. There we go. Place in the redstone torches. We'll bring those here and here and here. Oop, on that one there, just like that. And then we can place these on this side, just like so. There we go. All right, and once you have those linked up, then we're going to go ahead and place in some redstone dust on top of this guy right here. This needs some redstone dust right there. And then we're going to go ahead and throw a redstone torch off to the side of that one. That's going to be how that links up to that redstone. Now we also need to link up the redstone for the piston pushers for the stone generator down here, which comes right off of this redstone torch here. So go ahead and do the exact same thing. We're going to bring in a torch tower just like this. We're going to come all the way up here just like that. There we go. Go ahead and bring that all the way up here. And then go ahead and break every other block out. We can go just like this, like that. There we go. Go ahead and bring all those over just like so. Go ahead and grab your torches, place those in place just like this. And we'll go ahead and come on this side, do just like that. There we go. Okay, and that'll continue all the way up to the last layer. And then when you get to the redstone part, you're going to need to come off to the side here, place in 1 block there, and hook that up with redstone. As you see in my tutorials, I test every circuit before we move on to the next section. I definitely recommend doing that, and also testing every layer after completion. So after you have the next layer built, go ahead and turn your farm on, make sure that everything works, and if something doesn't, go ahead and fix it. As you can see here, my farm is working. It's producing moss and flushing it off the edge pretty well. So now that we have this layer in place, let's go ahead and build this up as many layers as we want. So now, as you can see, I've built my farm up a little bit higher. It's now 7 layers tall, which is the maximum amount of layers I really recommend building for this farm. And the reason for that is the fact that not every layer is going to get bone mealed because of the amount of lag that this thing causes. So really, I don't recommend building it up any higher than 7. 7's really kind of ridiculous. I don't think most of you guys are going to be building this up 7 layers, but nonetheless, 7 is definitely the max. You're not going to get any better rates out of this farm by building it higher. This is really the maximum rates that you're going to get. And to kind of record those rates, I've gone ahead and built a little hopper tester over here. This is what I build for my big farms. I build a hopper tester which allows me to record how many items and how many hoppers are actually being used in the farm. And I've let this farm run for the last hour, and we've got 15 hoppers that have been used. And I use these little pistons here just in case they're not being used at the moment. I know that they've been used because the block's been pushed out. So we got 15 hoppers being used out of a 7-layer farm. So now I've gone ahead and removed my little testing station that we had here. That was just to figure out how many hoppers we're going to need for this large of a farm. And as you can see here out the back, we've extended our torch tower all the way right up to the top, which is working pretty good. And for this scale of farm, I did have to increase the timing to 3 ticks for that many layers because we were getting cobblestone in the farm. So like I said, if you build this up and you're getting cobblestone in the farm, just increase the amount of ticks on that repeater. And I don't think you'll have to go more than 3 because I'm not having to go more than 3 to get pure stone out of it. Now that we have a farm, we need a way to collect all the items. So next we're going to be building the storage system. Let's go ahead and come on down here to this corner. We're going to take some packed ice. We're going to come all the way across here just like that. And then right here in the middle, these 2 middle blocks right here where these 2 pieces of glass are, you can knock those 2 out. That's where the items will be going down. Then we need to go ahead and grab some glass. Go ahead and put a temporary block there in the corner. And go ahead and bring your glass all the way down just like so. Go ahead and bring it all the way to the end just like that. There we go. And then go ahead and place yourself in 2 buttons right there. Then you can go ahead and grab yourself a bucket of water. Go ahead and place some water over here in the corners like that. and like that, and you should see that that water comes right to the center. Once your water is in place, go ahead and come on down below. We're going to come on down by a couple blocks here. Go ahead and bring some glass down just like this, in this shape right here, just encasing this whole 2x1 area where the items are going to be coming down, and bring that all the way down to the sub-chunk level that you marked out earlier. That should be exactly 5 blocks down from the packed ice that you have at the bottom of your farm there. It should come down to your sub-chunk level that you marked out earlier. And then go ahead and come on down. We're going to be putting some packed ice underneath where the items are going to be coming out, which go ahead and come to this side. Go ahead and place in all those blocks just like that. Now, if you're just doing bone meal with this farm, you can do exactly this side. If you want to collect the items, then go ahead and bring this all the way across to this side as well. That's if you want to collect the moss blocks and the moss carpet and azaleas and all that stuff. Next, we need to put in our glass and water. Now, if you're doing just bone meal, you can go ahead and put a piece of glass there and bring this glass all the way down to the edge here, just like this. You can go ahead and do that if you're just doing bone meal. If you're not just doing bone meal and you're doing a dual storage system like I'm going to be doing in this tutorial, then go ahead and bring your glass all the way down here like this. You can break out this. You can place in your glass all around here. In fact, you can take out this whole border right here. Go ahead and remove all of these blocks all the way down. Just like that. There we go. Then go ahead and place in your glass across all of that, just like this. There we are. Go ahead and place in some glass right here. You can break that block and put some more glass right there. We'll be making these streams go in this direction here shortly, but for right now we're going to focus on this area. Next, if you're just doing bone meal, you don't have to do this, but if you're doing a dual storage system like this, we're going to be putting in a water toggle system. So what we're going to do is we're going to come on down here. You're going to break these 2 glass blocks out. You're going to break this glass block out, which is right outside the center 2 blocks right here. Go ahead and place yourself in a dispenser. You're going to place yourself in an empty water bucket, and then you're going to go ahead and place some water in front of it, just like that. Okay. Next, and let's see here. Let's go ahead and place that glass in there. Go ahead and come to this side. Grab your dispenser. Go ahead and place that in the same area, in the same fashion, just like that, except this time you're going to be placing in a full water bucket, just like that. Go ahead and come on to this side. Grab your solid blocks. Go ahead and place these in right there across the back sides of those dispensers. Place some redstone dust on top, and go ahead and place yourself in a button. Now when you press this button, it should toggle which way the water is going to be flowing. So as you can see, now we got water flowing in this direction when the items come down. And if we hit that button again, you can see that it changes direction. Now the water's flowing in this direction. So depending on which way you want the items to go in your storage system, this is how that's determined. Go ahead and button up your glass on top of your water system. Go ahead and bring that all the way across here just like that. And going to come across here just like so. There we go. Alright, from this point forward, I'll be working on the bone meal storage system right here. And after that, if you guys are done, then you guys can go ahead and stop watching the tutorial. And if you guys want to build the second storage system, then continue watching and we'll build this after. Next, make sure that your water is not coming out of this dispenser. If it is, just go ahead and hit your button. It should switch to this side. And if it does and you see water just like that, then you've done right. Go ahead and grab yourself a button. You can break these 2 blocks out, place the button back in there, and place these 2 blocks back in. Go ahead and break this block there and that one there. Okay, we're going to come out to the side by 1, and we're going to place in ourselves a chest, which I guess you can get rid of that block here temporarily. Place in yourself a chest, and that'll align all the items as they come in to get over the hoppers. Now you can go ahead and replace that block, and you can get rid of this line of blocks right here. You can get that all down just like that. There we go. Alright, now we need to go ahead and place in our hoppers. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and come on down with a block right here off to this side. Now all these blocks are temporary. We're going to place these all the way down to the end of your chunk just like that, and go ahead and place in your hoppers on top of those facing down into them. Once you have all of your hoppers in, you should see that you have 14 hoppers in total all the way to this edge right here. Go ahead and come on down below. We're going to place in a couple more temporary blocks. I'm going to use iron blocks for that. And go ahead and come on down by 3 blocks below that. Bring that all the way over to the end over here, just like this. There we go. Alright, now we can go ahead and get rid of all of our temporary blocks that we placed in earlier. And then we're going to grab our composters. We're going to go ahead and grab these. We're going to go ahead and place these underneath all of these hoppers. Once your composters are in, go ahead and come over here and count 7 blocks in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Go and come straight down to your temporary blocks. Place in a block right there. Place in a hopper on the top of it facing down just like this. On this side, go ahead and place in a hopper facing into that one and into that one. And then bring that hopper line all the way down to the end, just like this. That should cover to the last composter right there. And you're going to do the same thing on this side. Go ahead and place one into there and into there, and continue that all the way back to the end, all the way to the very last composter. Now your hopper line should be looking like this, with both sides leading into the middle. Go ahead and break out your temporary blocks down below. Leave that one in the middle. We'll be coming back to that. Come back up top here. You can break this block out. We're going to come over here with some ice. Let's go ahead and grab some ice. And we're going to go ahead and bring that all the way across our hopper line, just like that, all the way to the end. Down here at the end, go ahead and place in yourself a solid block down here, just like this. And go ahead and place a piece of sand with some cactus on top of that one. On top of these hoppers here, we're going to go ahead and place in some iron bars. Go ahead and place in an iron bar right there, and bring that all the way down to the end, just like this. That iron bar is very hard to point at. There we go. Alright, so now we've got that all in place. Let's go ahead and get the final one there. There we are. And then on this side, we're going to go ahead and use our glass. So go ahead and bring the glass all the way down to the end. You can break that block and place that one in. Now we can go ahead and grab our water. Go ahead and put your water here in the corner. Wait till it's done flowing down to the edge. Place in a button and put in some more water. Once you have all that in place, go ahead and grab some glass. Go ahead and bring that all the way across, and you can bring that right on top of your cactus, just like that. Once you have all this in place, go ahead and come back down here to our temporary block, and come off to this side by 2 temporary blocks just like this. Break that one out, and go ahead and place in yourself a piston in that direction right there. Go ahead and break this one back out and grab your solid blocks. We're going to come down just like this behind that piston right there. Grab yourself a comparator and throw it on subtract mode just like this. Go ahead and come up by a block in front of it just like so. Grab yourself a sticky piston, place it on top of that block just like this. Grab yourself an observer, place it in the downwards position, facing downwards into the comparator. Anytime that extends, it'll power that piston. Now, we need to go ahead and build the circuit that's going to go ahead and control this comparator with another comparator. So go ahead and throw one right there, and go ahead and grab yourself a dropper, put it in right there. Go and open that up, and you're going to put in 9 stacks. Go ahead and put in 9 stacks. Grab the last stack, take one piece out, and throw it back in. So you should have 8 stacks and 63 in that one. That'll give an output of 14 signal strength, which whenever that shulker box is full, it will overpower that and give an output to this piston, which will ultimately break the shulker box. Once the shulker box gets broken, we're going to want to dispense another shulker box. So go ahead and come on over here to this piston. Go ahead and put a observer on its face just like that, and put another one on its face just like so. Come out this way by 2 as well, and then come on this direction and place that in that direction. Grab yourself a dispenser and come right here in the middle and place that facing that piston just like that. Once you have your dispenser in place, go ahead and come on down here and break these 2 hoppers out. Over there off to the side on my test model, I actually had a shulker box break and land on top of that hopper. And because it has another hopper on top of it, it actually won't go in, and it'll just sit there and despawn. So I don't want that to happen to you guys, so go ahead and break those 2 hoppers out, and we should be fine with this one hopper because it's all turning into bone meal anyway. Once you've got rid of those hoppers, go ahead and come to the side of this dispenser, place in a solid block right there, and place in 2 more. On this middle one here, go ahead and come down by 1 and break that one out. Grab your comparators, go ahead and place that in here just like that. Grab your sticky piston, go ahead and place that facing in this direction off of that block there. Then grab your observer, go ahead and place that facing in this direction. And actually, we're going to need to go around here and face that in this direction from right there. There we go. And that'll go ahead and power this anytime there's a shulker box in there. So since there's no shulker boxes in there, it has no power. If we grab a shulker box here, let's go ahead and grab here. There we go. Let's go ahead and put one in there, and you should see that it dispenses it right out just like that. Go ahead and grab your glass and come to this side. On this side of the piston, go ahead and place yourself in a piece of glass right there. Go ahead and skip a block and break that one and put another piece of glass there. Anytime that piston extends, that shulker box is going to break, so that area will be filled anyway. Go ahead and come on down here. We're going to place in a piece of glass there as well. Go ahead and place a piece of glass right there and right there. That should box that in. Go ahead and come down below. You can box all this in right here. You're going to box this whole area in. Go ahead and place the final piece of glass like that. So you should have this 3x1 area right here by the shulker box. Then on this side, go ahead and place in your glass in these areas right there and right there and right there. Anytime that shulker box breaks, it should be contained by that glass. Next, go ahead and come down here below your dispenser there, place in a temporary block like that, grab your hoppers, and place one into the side of that block just like this. You can get rid of that block now, and go ahead and place in another hopper into the side of this hopper right here. Go ahead and place that in right there, and then another one on this side right there. Oop, nope, like this, there we go. Go ahead and place those in so you have two hoppers facing into this one, and this one's facing back here towards the middle of your farm. So go ahead and grab yourself a barrel, go ahead and place that there where that block was, and then we need to build a silo. So if you want to have more storage here, you can put as many barrels as you like, but it needs to be in the form of a silo, which is this right here. So if you have a barrel, you're going to have a system where it goes hopper, barrel, so it's going to go back and forth just like this. So the next one, you'd have a hopper right here and then a barrel over here, which should look a little bit like this when you're done, just zigzagging all the way down as far as you like. Go ahead and break these two blocks out here. Those are your temporary blocks if you use those to go ahead and help you build this. But however many barrels you have here, you'll need to match that up here in a silo as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to come off the back of that dispenser there with a hopper with a barrel on the face of that one. And then go ahead and come with another hopper. We're going to place in another barrel on top of this one just like that. And we're going to place one more on top of this guy. Let me go crouch place that in here just like this. And then we'll get that barrel on top of here just like that. And then from there we need to silo this up. So if you have more barrels, you'll be needing to go ahead and place in a hopper here with another barrel on top of that one, and so forth. If you really want that much storage, you can silo this up to here and really come out here and kind of take that up as far as you like. But since in this tutorial I'm only doing 3 and I'm not going around my water stream here, I'm going to go ahead and break that part of the silo out, and I'm actually going to put that over here on this side to kind of make it a little bit more compact. So we're going to do that right there just for 3 barrels and the 3 barrels down there, so we're matched up. Underneath your silo, go ahead and come to the very last hopper. Go ahead and place in a dropper underneath it just like that. This hopper should not be pointing into that dropper, should be pointing into this chest or your barrel. And then underneath that barrel, you're going to place in a hopper facing into that dropper. So all of your bone meal will end up going into this dropper. Once you've gotten this far on your silo with your dropper down below, go ahead and leave that for now. We'll come back to that later. For now, we're going to come up here to your droppers. Go ahead and place in your hoppers into the back of your droppers right there. And go ahead and crouch place these all the way up to the top, and stopping at every dropper and crouch placing it into the side of every dropper, and then so on and so forth. Make sure to bring that hopper line up on both sides, making sure that every dropper has a hopper facing into it just like this. And when you come on down, you should see that every dropper does have a hopper facing into it just like that. And if you've gone that far, go ahead and come to this side of your hopper, and on the very top you're going to place in another hopper in just like that with a barrel on top just like this. And this is going to be where our shulker box unloading station is. And to do that, we're going to want to place a solid block on top of that hopper there that'll just cover that. Then we're going to go ahead and crouch place a hopper into the back of this barrel right there. Then we need to come off the back of this and go ahead and build the whole circuit that makes it work. So come on top of this hopper right here, place down a temporary block, and place one out to the back right here. Go ahead and place in 2 more. And then off this middle one, go ahead and place in a sticky piston in that direction, and you can break that block out. Grab yourself a comparator and place it on top of that sticky piston facing from this block into that block. Next, we need to go ahead and come on down behind the piston, place in 2 blocks and break that one out. Put some redstone dust right there. That'll go ahead and pull that hopper back anytime the shulker box is empty and needs to be reloaded. Next, go ahead and grab your sticky piston and come to this block right here. Go ahead and place a sticky piston facing directly up, just like this, and an observer on top facing sideways, just like that. Go ahead and grab yourself a full block. Go ahead and place that in right there, and grab yourself a repeater. You're going to place that right there and put that onto 4 ticks. Next, we're going to go ahead and come up a block just like this. Now we need a sticky piston facing downwards off the side of that block, just like this. Let's break that one out and go ahead and place that one in just like this. Next, we need to go ahead and place in an observer on the side of that one, facing sideways with the face facing in this direction. Place a block on the front of that observer right there on that red dot, and then come to this side, grab your dispenser, and place it right there facing in this direction. Grab your glass blocks and go ahead and place a temporary glass in there, put one right there, and put one right there, which should encase that entire area where the shulker box will be. Next, go ahead and come to this side of the dispenser. Go ahead and crouch place a hopper into the side of that one. That's going to be where our shulker boxes eventually come back and drain into this guy. And you can go ahead and place in a piece of glass right there and put a button right there that'll stop the water from flowing in that area. Then we need to go ahead and come onto this side of the dispenser. Go ahead and grab yourself a block. Go ahead and put it in front of that dispenser just like this. Go ahead and come out by 2 more. And then on the bottom, go ahead and place that one in there, and you can break the middle one, leaving you with this V shape right here. Go ahead and grab yourself a comparator. Place that in there just like that. Go ahead and grab yourself a sticky piston, face that in there, and you can face that one forward just like this with the red dot facing that block. So anytime that gets a shulker box, it will go ahead and auto dispense. Once your shulker box gets dispensed, it'll drain out the bone meal and disperse it throughout the farm, and then when it's finally empty, this hopper will be pulled back and the piston will go ahead and break your shulker box, and then we need to collect it down here. So go ahead and come on down here by this redstone. You're going to go ahead and place in some glass just like this, and you're going to place one more out just like that, and you can break that one. Now we need to go ahead and encase this whole area. We need to go ahead and come out here just like this. Go ahead and place in a block just like that, and place that on up here just like so. On the side of that hopper, place in yourself some glass just like that. On this side, go ahead and do the same. Encase this area. Go ahead and bring this on up here just like this. And on top of that hopper, or by the side of that hopper, go ahead and encase that as well. Then we need to go ahead and bring this all the way out underneath this block and go ahead and leave that block out. But we're going to go ahead and put a piece of glass there as well and bring that up by 1. Over here we can place in a button just like that. Next we need to go ahead and bring this all the way out to that button just like this. Okay, just like that. There we are. Then while this is still open, you can grab yourself a water bucket and go ahead and place yourself a water bucket waterlogging this hopper right there. That'll go ahead and make sure that the shulker box, when it gets broken, gets released and sent down into this area. So now go ahead and take your glass box, go ahead and fill this area in, fill that in, and then come onto this side and do the exact same thing. Fill that in and fill that in. Once you've reached this stage, go ahead and come down below, and you're going to make a tube of glass just all the way down just like this. Go ahead and bring that glass all the way down, and you're going to do that all the way down to the bottom. And bring that tube down to about this level on top of your water stream, and then go ahead and come on down here to this barrel, and go ahead and place in yourself a hopper facing into it just like this. Go ahead and place in yourself a temporary block and encase that one just like so, and break that one. And then we can go ahead and place in a block there, there, and there. Go ahead and bring this one up by 1 and bring it up by another, and bring that one on top. You go ahead and bring these up as well right there. Go ahead and bring these over just like that. And then on top of here, we're going to go ahead and replace this glass with some ice. So go ahead and break these 2 blocks and make these ice. And go ahead and bring that out to about here. And then we're going to bring that right underneath where this is. So we're going to go ahead and come all the way out to this point right here. There we go. And then we're going to come right over here, right underneath where that chute should fall. Then we're going to go ahead and bring all this glass in here. So go ahead and bring this down just like this. Bring that down and bring this down. There we go. Okay, you can bring this down by 1 and bring this over just like so. Bring this all the way to the end over here. There we go. And then go ahead and bring this all the way down to the end and encase this up too. Place yourself in a button here at the end to go ahead and keep the water from falling down. And then go ahead and come down here and place in your water right there. That'll go ahead and flow all the way down there. Perfect. And then go ahead and encase this with glass as well. And actually, we're going to make a quick change to that. Go ahead and come over here. We're going to bring an ice block right there, just like that. And then we can go ahead and place in another glass block right there. Go ahead and break this one out, and then we can place one in right there. That'll kind of make that whole jig jog right there. We kind of need that because we're going to be using this area for the upstream of bringing the bone meal in. When you're finished, the water should zigzag just like this towards that hopper. And then you're going to go ahead and break all the unnecessary blocks that you don't need. You can leave just those intact just like that. Next, we're going to come down to this dropper and build the water stream that hooks that up. And we're going to come right off of these 2 pieces of glass right here on my left and right. We're going to come straight down just like this. We're going to come all the way down to about that part of the dropper, just about 2 blocks above. Go ahead and do the same thing over here. Go ahead and bring that down just like this. And then off to these 2 sides, you can go ahead and bring these 2 sides all the way back up to the top. Let's see if we can just do that right here on camera. Let's go ahead and go all the way up to the top, just like this. There we go. Go ahead and bring it all the way up to the top, and you're going to bring it up to this hopper right here. So go ahead and complete this tube going all the way up, just like this. Then we can place in some ice going in here, just like this, to make it a little bit smoother. There we go. Go ahead and bring these two pieces of glass up here just like this, encasing all of that. There we are. Go ahead and put your topper on there just like this. Make sure that that piece of glass is there. You don't want to flood your redstone. And go ahead and come over here just like so. And then off to this side, go ahead and come off the side of that piston, place those in, and you can go all the way back down to here. There we go. Then the last bit is you need to come off this side and bring this glass all the way down. And let's see here, we want to do just that. So let's go ahead and come all the way down. There we go. Okay, let's see here. Almost there. Let's go all the way down. There we are. Okay, so now that you have your tube in place, it's time to go ahead and do the bottom right here. So let's go ahead and get the dropper right here. Go ahead and crouch place a block on the face and one more down. Make sure that's packed ice right there. Then we're going to go ahead and build up this little area right here. Go ahead and do this with it. Go ahead and break that block out and go like that. Okay. So basically, we're going to have a water source right in there. So go ahead and put yourself in a bucket of water and then put that back. You want to have water in right there. Then you want to have a water stream that's going to come out in this direction. So we're going to bring that out right here. We want to bring that straight underneath that tube right there and break the block under the tube and place in your soul soil right there. And then go ahead and place yourself in a button just like that. Over here, go ahead and grab your glass, bring that all the way around, come all the way over here, go ahead and come over here, and go ahead and bring that all the way back, just like that, and make sure you put that piece of glass in there too. So what's going to happen now is we're going to go ahead and place this in. We need to go ahead and bring in some pistons that are going to basically move these pieces of glass and allow the water to flow and allow the shulker box to go in any direction, because we're going to have water streams that come off in this direction, and this direction. So basically you can run both sides of the farm with this little direction water stream right here, and you can also feed other farms with it off the side. Come right over here and place in your glass on top of this area just like this. Go ahead and come to the edge of your tube like that. Place in the final block to go ahead and place that, and then go ahead and do the same thing on all the other sides as well. Go ahead and bring that all the way up just like so. Alright, then that's the water that's going to be flowing into there. We actually need a bucket of water ourselves. Let's go ahead and place that in. And what we need to do is we need to come in here, place in water in there, and you're going to do that all the way up. So let's go ahead and hop in here, go ahead and place in that glass, and then go ahead and place water on every single glass block. Once you reach the top right here where your ice is, go ahead and break this glass right here. Go ahead and jump on top there, place in your final bit of water. There you go, and go ahead and place the glass on top. So now anytime you have a shulker box of bone meal, it'll go right here into the system. Once you have that complete, go ahead and come to this block right here with this pistons on top. Go ahead and come on down here and place yourself in a sticky piston in a downwards position just like that. Go ahead and come right over here, and you're going to go ahead and place in 11 slime blocks. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then a slime block, and then you're going to skip a block and put in another sticky piston, and you can break that block, and you're going to do that all the way down to the bottom. Once you have that complete, it should look something like this, and when you get down to the bottom here, go ahead and leave this for later. We'll come back to that. Next, we need to come down to this dropper. Go ahead and break these two pieces of glass out that we put in earlier, and the water will flow. That's okay. Go ahead and place in yourself a solid block right there and 2 bits of redstone dust on top. Go ahead and grab yourself a couple temporary blocks and place 3 of them right here, and then break those 2 out. Come on down below and place in yourself a regular piston in the downwards position where it's linking up to this redstone right here. On this side, go ahead and place in yourself a glass block there and a glass block there, and then down below, grab yourself a slime block and put it there. Grab yourself a redstone block and put that underneath the ice in that area right there. Then grab yourself a sticky piston and place it in the upwards position so it pushes that ice up and blocks that water. Down below here, we're going to go ahead and come down by 3 temporary blocks like this and 1 out to the side. And then go ahead and break these 2 right there. Place in yourself a piston in the upwards position like that, and you can break that block down below and put some redstone dust on that block right there. Now whenever we power this circuit, you should see that it allows the water to flow, and when you unpower it, you'll see that it retracts. Once you have that complete, we need to link this redstone up to this piston tower that we have here. So go ahead and grab yourself a couple temporary blocks. Go ahead and place in 2 right there with a redstone block on top, and you can break those 2 out. Then we need to get some slime blocks and bring those over to this redstone block here that we have right here. Go ahead and place in yourself a sticky piston right here, right on that one, and you should see that that gets powered. But since this is not supposed to be powered yet, we're going to go ahead and break this redstone block, which should depower that. we're going to go and break one slime block and put that one there. So anytime that we come up here and this piston gets powered, you should see that it opens the water, and then when you unpower it, it should close the water. Once you have all this working and you've got this side completed, you are going to need to go ahead and rewind the video and re-watch this and go ahead and duplicate this on the other side, except you're going to be mirroring it. So anything that's done on the right, you're going to be putting on the left. I'll go ahead and leave a timestamp on the screen and in the description so you guys can rewind to that section and re-watch this and do this for the other side. And if you've gotten this far, this concludes part 1 of the video. If you need to rewind it and rewatch it to build the other side, then go ahead and do so. And after you're done with that, go ahead and click on the video on the end screen. That's going to be part 2. And thanks you guys for watching. Go ahead and smack the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on part 2.